Hello. So you can tell the weather has really turned and we're full on underway getting into autumn. Now our gardens are probably starting to look a little bit sad, a little bit weathered. All of our beautiful summer flowers are starting to go over, and of course with that even the leaves of our summer perennials can get quite straggly and spotty, and it's all starting to look a little bit tired and bare. However, there are loads of beautiful flowers and plants that will keep on flowering at least for the next 8 weeks. And today we're going to plant quite a lot of them into a shady border. So let me show you some of the plants that we're going to use. Anemones. You can see we've got Honorine Jabert, which makes these beautiful white. I mean, you can kind of see beautiful white, yellow center. You can see on the peak there. So all anemones, part sun to sun, they will cope with it as long as the roots are kept moist. So if you've got even a kind of sunny but quite moist area of your garden, it is worth trying. And another reason they're worth trying, look at the amount of flower heads on these things, and they kind of stand up from the basal leaves, giving you this real whirly effect. And of course if they catch in a breeze, they'll just gently sway. But look how much flower you get. You know, those two are called Serenade. They get quite tall, almost to a meter, maybe perhaps just slightly taller than a meter. And you see that beautiful yellow center with a kind of, you know, purpley whitish almost. There's a kind of fade to that flower. Really lovely. Next we have asters. We've got this, you can pause the video and read that, but crimson brocade. So this gets tallish. Now all asters, you might know them as Michaelmas daisies. They are gorgeous. I've absolutely fallen in love with them this year, because look as well how many flowers you get, and I love that shape. I love the colors. This one just there, so a small little one for the front, and this one up to 130 high. So this doesn't have its flowers on it yet, but you can see this kind of ice pink. So there we go, flower heads are coming, but look at the rich kind of jewel color of these. You can see just how many flower heads are yet to come. And we've got echinaceas. I mean, look at that. Echinacea. 3 of these. So if you buy your echinaceas now, you'll still have quite a few flowers coming. We've got a few coming. And the flower heads, they last quite a while on the plant. They also last quite a while on the vase. Or vase, I should say. So, not the best label. Echinacea red to 50 high. Now, we might not plant all of these, because I've also got plants here that we're going to use for our beginner series when it comes to actually planting up the border that we create. But we might use one here. I have another little anemones. I love this. It goes red in autumn. And you can see we've got one there. So the idea is that regardless of what we do, that grass there is getting replaced basically for this. When we do this in garden design, boom, boom, you instantly feel that our eye moves through and it just seems more natural. When we're doing this natural or wilder style gardening, repetition is key. When you go out in nature, typically what you're finding is one plant in a big group or threaded throughout. We're going for that kind of threaded look. We have Perovskia blue spice, so Russian sage. These become big clumps. This is the big one. So if you've got a dry spot, dry and super sunny, so this isn't going to go over there in our part shady kind of area. That's more like a woodland. This is perhaps going to go in our dry zone. Also a great plant for autumn colour, so I just wanted to show you. On the tail end of its flowering season, Geranium roseanne. You've seen me talk enough about this. Incredible plant. And again, good for sunny, good for dry. We've got a couple of heleniums. This one is Bishop something. I'll try and put it on the screen. If you keep deadheading them, they will keep flowering. If they're in the right condition, they'll keep flowering for quite a while. Look at these. Sunflower-esque, right? We've got Rudbeckia, one of the stars of autumn. Rudbeckias and asters. And you have yourself kind of what looks like a late meadow. They will take a little bit of shade as well, but more like a fringe. I mean, they want sunny and they want quite moist. We've got penstemon, strawberries and cream. Penstemon, if you deadhead them quite quick, you will keep getting, although not as good flowers or flower stems, you will still get some in September. And it is the same with geums. This is Geum Coral Tempest. They will give you a few more of these. Oh, they will give you a few more kind of flowers, although obviously not as prolific. I mean, they've already flowered prolifically. Got some damaged salvias. This is Sensation Blue. You can see one little flower head over there, little blue one. You can still see that flower heads are coming. I don't know if it'll be sunny or warm enough for it to happen, but it just goes to show that if you keep cutting them back, you will get maybe 2 or 3 goes, successions of flower. These are a little bit damaged, but they were only £2.50 each. And I thought, man, I can't let that go. 2 Salvia Caradonna pinks. So again, you can see, I mean, if summer kept going, these would keep flowering. We've also got 2 little sedums. Sedum, probably one of the, again, with anemones and asters, one of the key, reliable, heavy autumn flowers. Look at those. Even this, I mean, they're kind of nondescript little flowers on there, slight pink tinge to them. But again, this just works for Rockery's little Mediterranean gardens, gravel gardens. Even if you garden within those styles, you can have still beautiful flowers. And look at this. This one's called Firecracker, one of the low-growing ones. And you can see with, you know, grasses, as autumn kind of goes and gives us these kind of burnt and decaying kind of looks, that sedum just really is fantastic amongst it. So come with me and I'll show you what part of the garden we'll be renovating today. Alright, so this is now what we're looking like. You can see big bare patch, and we've got all these. So the front is okay. Sedums, we'll take that hebe out. You got asters. Right, so we've laid some soil down. We're going to do quite a bit more. When it comes to doing this, have a look around. See what plants you want to keep, okay? Now, sometimes we inherit a garden, and it doesn't contain all the things that we want. However, there might be things there that we do want to save, or there could be perhaps a thing that we want to save, but they're not in the right spot. And that's what I'm going to do here. So if, like me, you're doing a little border makeover or renovation, lift the plants that you don't want in there anymore, lift them out. Take as much of the roots as you can up and out. The best thing to do, even if you don't know what necessarily to do with them straight away, whether you want to transplant them, whack them in a pot. If it's a dry day, you might want to even wet the root ball a little bit, but at least get them into a little bit of soil and into a pot. Even though you're not potting it up straight away, it's still good just to maintain the health of the plant, have it a little bit less stressed. And just to show you what I mean, get a little bit of soil in here, get the plant you've just taken out, just whack it in. If you've got a watering can on hand, get a little water, and that should be fine for later in the day when you're ready to get onto this job. Oh, this is hard work. So that is 7 bags of compost I put on, 2 bags of soil improver, 1 bag of farmyard manure, and a lot of fish, blood and bone. Let's take a look and see where we're at with our little renovation project. So you can see we've taken out some stuff, some plants. These are the ones we want to keep. Asters, this lovely autumn grass here, Ceslaria. Oh, Caryopteris. Bees have just been humming on this thing all day. There's one. Oh, asters. I've got some black mondo grass in there, there's peony there. So even though it doesn't look very nice at the moment, we leave the leaves on. Little fern, some lilies over there that flowered, lovely bay here. That huge bay. Harvested bay leaves already. And there's a little geranium just to the left. That's geranium Brookside, little dark purple mounded geranium. We're going to move that little geranium Brookside as well, that you can see little dark foliage just there. And let's take you back. So that's the view that we are working on. So do you see the grass just there to the left, right left of frame? Beautiful anemones. Starts to go red in autumn, really, really nice. And I've got the second one, so I know that I want that like there-ish. The rest we're just going to have a little play around. I am happy with this, I think. Famous last words. Let's go have a look. I mean, leave a comment down below how you would have done this. What are we thinking? I think this is going to be a super duper flowery autumn section. Penstemon, one there. Now over here, oh, that one's fallen over. There you are, buddy. So penstemons either side of the shrub, the pittosporum. When we do that, typically what we want to do is draw the eye to the middle. This is the other side. Now remember, consider all your viewpoints. Consider all your viewpoints. This still looks good from here, I think. So it's mostly autumn stuff here. So just a quick tip. When you want plants for autumn, for a lot of you, most of us, even me, it's going to be easier to buy them in season. That way you can put them in your garden with all the other stuff that you've had for spring and summer, and you can really see how it fits in. The real tricky part is when you're trying to buy autumn colour, autumn plants, things like the anemones, asters, when you're trying to buy them in spring or summer, because you don't know how they're going to interplay with all your other bits and bobs. Here, what is apparent to me already is that this is a very autumn-centric spot that we've just done. It's full of asters, full of Rudbeckias, full of anemones, because that's what I want. I want a little section of the garden to be autumn. Keep in mind, this won't look great in spring unless we put maybe some spring bulbs in. This won't look the best in summer, which is why I've left gaps, because I expect that. Next summer, we'll see kind of what's forming, what's taking really well, what space the things need, and in little gaps we'll have room for summer. In saying that though, we've got heleniums, we've got echinaceas, we've got penstemons, and we've got some salvias dotted through, and we've got peony, so, and lilies, we've got some lily bulbs in there, so we'll see, but we should be okay. I mean, you'll just have to keep watching this channel for another year. Right, so time to get planting. Remember, we work back to front. Right, so a little bit of the dry med stuff, but this is kind of where my eye starts when it comes to that bit. I'll show you what I mean. We've got anemones, this lovely grass. So I got the exact same grass and put it there. So those two. So because we've got two of that same thing. We've got this kind of rhythm and structure. It really kind of makes a kind of little scene out of that Mahonia, that big shrub in the middle. It really focuses our eye in, and it makes it seem a bit more interesting. Let me see. So that's my frame. That's what my eyes see. And it kind of just leads us up to this Mahonia. And Mahonia by itself, not great at this time of year. I mean, it's kind of interesting, but this kind of makes it seem better than what it is, I think. So, in considering that, that's the kind of view. We go through there, and now we start to lose that rhythm, although we do have another grass there. So that's kind of our second point at which we stop. So we've got these Rudbeckias, aster, monch. This aster is just, I mean, look at the colour. It's like an ice blue. I love asters for these kind of variegation. Well, not variegations, but these kind of colours. Echinacea will trowel there. This little geranium's called Orion. He makes big blue flowers in summer. Same with this geranium Brookside. We've just moved him. He makes lovely blue flowers. So that's anemone honorine Gerbert. One flower's just come out. And we can see that speckled laurel just behind it. So this is going to amass white. And I thought, well, there's lots of green around it, and white looks really good when there's loads of green around. Helenium should give us yellow, mostly in summer. So we've got yellow, blue, and then this salvia will flower in summer too. Caradonna blue, little one, that'll give us blue as well. And the peony, that's like a jewel peony, like a nice bright crimson red. So a couple of things for summer. Look at this one, little baby aster here. We've got this beautiful one here, just ready to absolutely burst, and it should now that it's in some lovely soil. These were here, Caryopteris. Bees have been on this the entire time I've been out here. And Ceslaria, you can see the little seed heads starting to form. Another aster there. This lovely penstemon, I think that colour with that blue, not something I normally do. I normally go for a bit more subdued or monochromatic, but when we consider that silver, I think this is going to be quite nice, bit jewelly. Another aster there, and the two anemones, those are Serenade. Now you see a gap in between them, more towards the back there. May get a taller anemone, maybe something like Konig Charlotte. And another little Rudbeckia. This is little wizard, same as the other one that we just saw. And that's the same salvia, that's Caradonna blue. Black Mondo grass was already there. So that's kind of what we're looking at in the reverse. And from the front. So we need to redo that edging. And these I'm going to keep. Those are going to be for our beginner gardening series. That'll be for the episode where we plant a new border. And I wanted to do a video specifically for helping people plant for autumn colour. It's not been the best year for the gardening, but hopefully this video and the shorts have helped you see that still there's a lot of colour and a lot of flower left to be had on this otherwise kind of dreary year. If you want to learn how to garden a little bit better, or if you want to learn to garden, period, give me a follow. As well, for what's left of the year, I'll be keeping you up to date with the garden. We might have a couple little more DIY projects back here where I keep renovating this and turning it hopefully into something a bit magical. So until then folks, cheerio. And for those of you that stayed till the end, this is what it's looking like weeks later. It is the 10th of October. Still so many flowers for autumn. And this will all fill up over time, trust me. See, I've put a couple of little grasses in pots. I'm not sure if they'll stay there. But yeah, I mean, days have been a bit short and a bit dark and a bit grey and a bit rainy, but here's a little bit of cheer. Happy World Mental Health Day, and cheerio.